Teen arrested in mother's stabbing death. After prior clearance in father's shooting, imagine a scenario where tragedy strikes not once, but twice within the same family. A young man, cleared in his father's death, now stands accused of murdering his own mother. This is a case riddled with complexities, raising questions about self-defense, domestic violence, and the potential for a pattern of escalating violence. Give a like and subscribe. Leave a comment. A 17-year-old is currently facing first-degree murder charges in Florida. This arrest stems from the death of his mother, who was found fatally stabbed. The case has garnered significant attention due to the teen's prior involvement in his father's death in Oklahoma. Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd announced the arrest, emphasizing the gravity of the situation. The sheriff's office is actively pursuing the possibility of trying the teen as an adult, given the severity of the alleged crime. This decision could have significant implications for the teen's future. The mother was discovered deceased at her own mother's home in Auburndale, Florida. The circumstances surrounding her death immediately raised suspicions. The teen himself was the one who placed the 911 call to report the incident. Initially, the teen claimed that his mother had accidentally fallen on a knife during a physical altercation. However, this account quickly came under scrutiny. The details provided by the teen seemed inconsistent with the physical evidence at the scene. The medical examiner's report played a crucial role in challenging the teen's version of events. The location of the stab wound, specifically on the back of the mother's neck, was deemed implausible with the teen's explanation. This discrepancy became a key piece of evidence for investigators. Neighbors also provided valuable information, reporting that they had witnessed the teen arguing with his mother prior to the incident. They further stated that they saw the teen pulling his mother into the house shortly before the 911 call was made. These accounts painted a different picture than the one presented by the teen. At the time of the incident, the grandmother was not present at the residence. This meant there were no other witnesses to corroborate or refute the teen's claims. The absence of other witnesses further complicated the investigation. According to reports, the teen appeared remarkably calm, cool, and collected after the alleged stabbing. He also immediately requested to speak with a lawyer. This behavior raised further questions and fueled suspicions among investigators. The weapon used in the alleged stabbing was identified as a 12-inch kitchen knife. The blade penetrated deeply, reaching the back of the mother's neck. The severity of the wound further contradicted the teen's claim of an accidental injury. The teen's involvement in his father's death on Valentine's Day of the previous year in Oklahoma casts a long shadow over the current case. The circumstances surrounding the father's death are eerily similar, adding another layer of complexity to the investigation. In the Oklahoma case, the teen claimed that he acted in self-defense when he shot his father. He alleged that his father had pulled a knife on him during an argument. This claim of self-defense became the central point of contention in the investigation. Unlike the current case, there were no witnesses to the shooting of the father. This lack of independent verification made it difficult for investigators to determine the truth. The absence of witnesses significantly hampered the investigation. The father was shot twice, once in the head and once in the chest. These wounds were undeniably fatal. The nature of the wounds raised questions about the teen's claim of self-defense. Following the shooting, the teen was initially arrested for first-degree murder in connection with his father's death. However, the charges were ultimately dropped a month later. This decision was based on the prosecution's inability to disprove the teen's claim of self-defense. The prosecution faced significant challenges in building a case against the teen due to the lack of witnesses and the self-defense claim. The burden of proof rested on the prosecution to demonstrate beyond a reasonable doubt that the teen did not act in self-defense. After the shooting, the teen relocated to Florida to live with his mother. This move brought him to the location where his mother would later be found dead. The relocation adds another layer of intrigue to the case. Adding to the disturbing picture, the teen had a documented history of violence against his mother. This history further undermines the teen's claims of self-defense and accidental injury. The prior incidents paint a picture of a troubled young man with a propensity for violence. The teen was arrested in November for domestic violence battery. This arrest stemmed from an incident where he allegedly pushed his mother to the ground and stomped on her. The details of this incident are particularly disturbing. The incident reportedly occurred after his mother took away his video game privileges. This seemingly minor trigger escalated into a violent confrontation. The incident highlights the teen's potential for explosive anger and aggression. Once again, the teen claimed that he acted in self-defense during the domestic violence incident. However, this claim was disputed by his grandmother. The conflicting accounts further complicated the investigation. The grandmother's account contradicted the teen's version of events, suggesting that he was the aggressor in the situation. Her testimony provided valuable insight into the dynamics of the relationship between the teen and his mother. The outcome of the domestic violence case was not immediately clear. The details surrounding the case were still being investigated at the time of the mother's death. The unresolved nature of the case adds another layer of complexity to the overall situation. According to Sheriff Judd, the teen and his mother had an argument about chores, which led him to flee their home in Charlotte County and go to his grandmother's house. This detail provides further context for the events leading up to the mother's death. In addition to first-degree murder, the teen now faces charges of kidnapping and violation of a no-contact order. These additional charges reflect the severity of the alleged crimes and the potential for a lengthy prison sentence. This case presents a complex legal puzzle with several key elements that will likely be scrutinized during the trial. The prosecution will need to establish probable cause that the teen committed the murder. The defense will likely argue self-defense or diminished capacity. The prior incident involving the father's death will likely be admissible as evidence, depending on the jurisdiction's rules regarding prior bad acts. The prosecution may argue that it demonstrates a pattern of behavior or a propensity for violence. The defense will likely argue that it is irrelevant and prejudicial. The domestic violence incident involving the mother will also be a key piece of evidence. The prosecution will use it to demonstrate a history of abuse and to undermine the teen's claims of self-defense. The defense will likely argue that it is a separate incident and should not be considered in the murder trial. The teen's age will also be a significant factor in the case. The prosecution will need to convince the court that he should be tried as an adult. This decision will depend on factors such as the severity of the crime, the teen's criminal history, and his potential for rehabilitation. The mental state of the teen at the time of the murder will also be a crucial consideration. The defense may argue that he suffered from a mental illness or that he was not in his right mind when he committed the crime. This could potentially lead to a reduced charge or a finding of not guilty by reason of insanity. The burden of proof rests on the prosecution to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that the teen committed the murder. This is a high standard, and the defense will have ample opportunity to challenge the prosecution's evidence and arguments. The case is likely to be highly publicized and emotionally charged. The outcome will have significant implications for the teen, the victim's family, and the community as a whole. The legal proceedings will be closely watched by legal experts and the public alike. This case is a stark reminder of the complexities and tragedies that can arise within families. It highlights the importance of addressing domestic violence and mental health issues. The legal proceedings will undoubtedly be lengthy and challenging, but the pursuit of justice is paramount. If you found this analysis insightful, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more in-depth legal case studies. Share this video with others who are interested in true crime and legal analysis. Leave a comment below with your thoughts on the case and any questions you may have. Your engagement helps us to continue providing informative and thought-provoking content.